Welcome students. So in today's lecture I am going to talk on a IR spectroscopy, which is also a type of spectroscopy technique. What is actually a spectroscopy? So it is the study of interaction which is occur in between the matter and electromagnetic radiation. Okay, so that is the basic definition of spectroscopy technique. So there are different types of spectroscopy, absorption spectroscopy, then emission spectroscopy, and the last one, that is a scattering spectroscopy. Okay, so first one, that is absorption spectroscopy, means what? This type of a technique you can use for means it uses electromagnetic spectra, in which the chemical substances, they absorb different types of radiation like infrared or nuclear magnetic radiations or resonance. They can absorb this light, you can say. Then emission spectroscopy, in which they uses electromagnetic spectra. At that type of spectroscopy, substances, they emit luminescence. Luminescence means which is related to your fluorescence spectroscopy. Okay, and the last type, that is a scattering spectroscopy. So it measures the amount of light that a substance scatter at certain wavelength. Okay, and incident angle, and it has a polarization angle. So that is a Raman spectroscopy. So this IR spectroscopy, it is a type of absorption spectroscopy. Okay, so infrared spectroscopy, it is concerned with the study of absorption of infrared radiation, which causes vibrational transition in the molecule. That means when chemical compound absorb this radiation, there is a means there is a occurrence of a vibrational transition in that molecule. Okay, or in simple words, you can say, when IR light, that is infrared light, is passed through a sample of organic compound, some of the frequencies, they are absorbed while others are transmitted the light. Okay, so IR spectra is mainly used to identify the functional groups which are present in the molecules. Okay, suppose if you have amino acid, so by this spectroscopy technique, like we have known the functional groups which are present in the amino acid, but some complex mixtures or complex compounds which has complex structure. So by this technique, you can easily identify which functional group is present in that molecule. Okay, so that is the general information about the infrared or you can say IR spectroscopy. Here you can see the electromagnetic spectrum. Okay, so in a means this technique is generally used to study the interaction between the infrared radiation and the matter. Okay, so infrared radiations, before it refers broadly to that a part of electromagnetic spectrum between the visible and microwave region, right? So that is the infrared region, you can see. Now the principle of this technique, that is principle of IR spectroscopy. So in the principle of IR spectroscopy is related to the vibrational and rotational energy of a molecule, because as I told you, there is a formation of vibrational transition, right? So it is related to that. So molecules, they are made up of atoms, they are linked by a chemical bonds. So the movement of the atoms and the chemical bonds, like a spring and ball, that is a vibration. Okay, so here in the diagram you can see the vibration of diatomic molecule. So these characteristics vibration, they are called as a natural frequency of the vibration. Okay, so when the frequency of IR radiation is equals to the natural frequency of vibration, the molecule, they absorb that time IR radiation, that you have to understood. Okay, so absorption of IR radiation, it causes an excitation of molecule from a lower to the higher vibrational level. Okay, and each vibrational level is associated with the number of closely placed rotational level. Therefore this IR spectroscopy is also called as a vibrational rotational spectroscopy. Okay, so when energy in the form of infrared radiation is applied, then it causes the vibration between the atoms of the molecule. Okay, so here you can see applied infrared frequency, as I told you, it is equals to the natural frequency of vibration. Okay, so all the bonds in the molecule, they are not capable of absorbing this type of a radiation energy, but those bonds which are accompanied by a change in the dipole moment will absorb in the IR region, and such transitions they are called as a IR active transition. Okay, so different functional groups absorb characteristic frequencies of an IR radiation, hence it gives the characteristic peak value also. So therefore, IR spectrum of a chemical substance is a fingerprint of a molecule for its identification. So these transitions which are not accompanied by a change in the dipole moment of the molecule, they are not directly absorbed and considered as a IR inactive. Okay, so in case of a IR spectroscopy, the changes in the vibration energy depends upon different factors, like you can say mass of the atoms which are present in the molecule, then strength of the bonds, arrangement of atoms within the molecule. Okay, so no two compounds except the enantiomers can have the similar IR spectra. Okay, now the criteria, or we can say the requirements for a compound to absorb the radiation. So there are two requirements, as I already discussed about that, ki if there is a change in dipole moment, that is also a requirement, we can say. So correct wavelength of radiation. So first one we'll see the correct wavelength of radiation. So in that, a molecule to absorb IR radiation, the natural frequency of vibration of some part of a molecule is the same as the frequency of whatever incident radiation. Okay, so that is the first criteria. Then second is the change in dipole moment, means a molecule, it can only absorb IR radiation when its absorption causes change in its electric dipole. Okay, so that is the means these two criteria, they are very important for a compound to absorb the IR radiation. Now molecular types of molecular vibration, means there are two different changes which can be occur in the molecule. So first one is the molecular rotation and the second one is the molecular vibration. So what is mean by molecular rotation? So the rotational transitions, they are little use of a spectroscopist. Okay, but the second one is the molecular vibration. So in that, the position of atoms which are present in the molecule, they are not fixed. Okay, so they are subject to number of different vibrations. So there are two different types of vibration. First one is the stretching and second one is the bending. Okay, so stretching means what? Okay, there is a change in interatomic distances along the bond axis, that is called as a stretching, which is further divided into two groups or two types. First one is the symmetrical and second one is the asymmetrical. And in case of a bending, that means change in angle between two bonds. Okay, so there are four different types of bonds. We'll see about it, but the major two, in plane and out plane. So which are, so these in plane and out plane, which is further subdivided into different types, that we'll see afterwards. Okay, so first type, that is a symmetrical stretching. So in this, two bonds increase or decrease in length simultaneously. So in this figure you can see bonds is increased or decreased, that is called as a symmetrical stretching. Then asymmetrical stretching means what? In this, one bond length is increased and other is decreased. Okay, so in last case we'll see ki both bonds either they increase or decrease. But in asymmetrical stretching, what happens? One bond length is increased and other is decreased. Okay, so that is a asymmetrical stretching. Now the second type, that is bending, which is divided into two types, like in plane and out plane. So in plane bending, it is divided into two types. First one is a scissoring and second one is the rocking type. Okay, and out plane is bending like wagging and twisting. So in this figure you can easily understand what it means. Okay, now the instrumentation of this IR spectrometer or spectroscopy. So you can see there is a IR source, right? Sample compartment is there, means first one you can say IR radiation source, means by that you will get the IR radiation. Then there is a wavelength selector by which you can select the wavelength, or monochromator, right? Then there is a sample holder or a cell, or we can say sample compartment. There is a detector also, and a recorder we needed, right? So we'll go first with the sources. Like here you can see the infrared spectrophotometer, the general instrument of this IR spectrophotometer. Okay, so this source is like inert solids heated electrically to the temperature of 1500 K to 2000 K. Glower you can use as a IR radiation in case of IR spectroscopy. Okay, then monochromator. So there is a difference between this monochromator and filter. So in this diagram you can see the difference in between this monochromator and filter. Like means of selection in case of a monochromator is the diffraction, and in case of a filter it is absorption, right? Then wavelength width in case of a monochromator is narrow, and in case of a filter it is wide. Okay, then cost of monochromator is expensive, means it is very expensive, while the filter they are cheap. Okay, then portability of this monochromator is none, and filter has portability very high, we can say, very or varies, we can say. Then capable of recording spectra by done by this monochromator, and capable of recording spectra is not done by the filter. Okay, then suitable for quantitative, means monochromator is suitable for quantitative, and filter is not for this means filter is not capable of recording spectra. Then suitable for quantitative, yes, both of them are suitable for quantitative analysis. Okay, so this is the difference, basic difference in between monochromator and filter. Okay, now which type of a detectors we can use in case of IR spectroscopy? They are thermocouples, then bolometer, Gauss cell, pyroelectric detector, photoconducting detector. So these different detectors you can use for detection by IR spectrophotometer. Okay, so there are some applications of this IR spectroscopy, like it is used for identification of organic compounds. Then it can be used for purification, or you can test purity by this spectrophotometer. Then structural investigations, polymorphism, means pseudo polymorphism, means जे काही wrong असेल ते. Then interactions with the drugs, then patent of antibiotics, and quantitative measurements. For that also we can use IR spectroscopy. More like in short we can say identification of functional group and structural elucidation, then identification of substances, studying the progress of the reaction, detection of impurities. Then as I told you, it is used to test purity, right? And for quantitative analysis. Okay, so in case of sources, like we had topic of that, okay, which type of sources you can use for IR spectroscopy. So there are different types of sources we can use. Okay, like Globar, then which is heated, nursed Globar. Okay, then there is a sample compartment in which you can put your sample, monochromator, filter, detectors. So that you have to understand, or different types of detector you can use, like thermal, non-thermal detectors. Okay, means then you can use a recorder. So like you can use your computer to record or to analyze that data. So that is the general instrumentation of that IR spectroscopy, and we have finished with the application of this IR spectroscopy. Now this technique has some disadvantage, like non-adherence of Beer's law, and complexity of a spectra. So these two the disadvantages of this IR spectroscopy. Okay. So this is all about the IR spectroscopy, which is very simple topic or easy to understand. I hope you guys understand. Thank you.